your English teacher Sheikh Rafi. In today's video, I am going to teach you yet another very important basic concepts from English grammar. Today's topic is the sentence, a clause and a phrase. Dear students, this is one of the very important topics. If you understand what is a sentence, what is a clause and what is a phrase, it will help you in understanding different kinds of sentences, clauses as well as phrases. So let us start today's topic. Start by understanding the meaning of the sentence. If you look at the board, a sentence is a group of words which has three things. Number one, it should have a subject. Number two, it should have a predicate. And number three, it should give complete meaning. Dear students, if you are aware of what is the subject and what is the predicate, it is well and good. If not, then better you see my previous video on subject and predicate. So let us continue further. After understanding the meaning of sentence, let us try to see some of the examples. Look at the first example. Karan works in Hyderabad. Now this is a group of words. Then here Karan is subject. Works in Hyderabad is predicate. So in this group of words, there is a subject, there is a predicate, and it gives complete meaning. Dear students, when I say predicate, you should remember that verb is the most important word in a predicate. Without verb, predicate is not possible. Hence, you should always look for a verb. Then, second example, mother is making tea. Now in this sentence, mother is subject, is making tea is predicate. So even this group of words has both. It has a subject, it has a predicate, and it makes complete sense. So this is a sentence. Here is making is verb. Let us see the third example. The weather is fine today. In this sentence, we are talking about the weather. The weather is subject, whereas is fine today is predicate. Now even this group of words has both the things. It has a subject, it has a predicate, and it gives a complete sense. See the next example. What do you do? Here the subject is you, whereas what do is predicate. So even this group of words has both. It has a subject, it has a predicate, and it gives complete meaning. So even this is a sentence. The fifth example, please listen to me. Now this is an imperative sentence. If you remember, in an imperative sentence, we generally don't find the subject. We have to assume the subject to be you. So when somebody says, please listen to me, it means you please listen to me. Here the subject is use. So we can say that this group of words has both. It has a subject and at the same time it has a predicate. So it is a sentence. Then the last one, how tall the building is. Now in this group of words, the building is subject, whereas how tall is predicate. Here is the verb. Is the verb. So it has all the three things required to form a sentence. It has a subject, it has a predicate, and it gives complete meaning. So dear students, all of you should understand that all these are the examples of sentence. To form a sentence, we should have a subject, a predicate, and it should give complete meaning. A sentence can be an interrogative sentence, an imperative sentence, an exclamatory sentence, or a declarative sentence. Whatever it is, all sentences start with a capital letter, whereas they end with either full stop or a question mark or an exclamatory mark. Let us further understand what is a sentence, clause and phrase. Let us try to understand what is the meaning of a clause. If you look at the board, A clause is a group of words which has a subject, a predicate, and the third one, it may or may not give complete meaning. Now students, here you have to catch the difference between a sentence and a clause. Sentence has a subject, predicate, and gives complete meaning, whereas clause has a subject, has a predicate, but it may or may not give complete meaning. So let us try to understand how is this possible. Let us look at some examples and try to understand what is a clause. Look at the first example. When I woke up. Now in this sentence, I is subject, woke up is verb, or we can say a predicate. So this sentence has a subject, a predicate, but it doesn't give complete meaning. When I say when I woke up, what happened when I woke up? It doesn't give complete meaning. So this is a clause. Let us see the second example. As you wish. Here you is subject and as wish is predicate. So it has a subject and predicate. But when we try to infer the meaning of the sentence, we don't get it. As you wish, what? We don't get the complete meaning here. So this is a clause. Look at the third example. If you want to come. Here you is subject and want to come is predicate. Even this group of words, it has a subject and a predicate, but when we try to understand the meaning, we don't get it. If you want to come, what or when? The sentence doesn't answer this question, so the meaning is incomplete. So it is a clause. See the fourth one. While I was driving. Here I is subject, while I was driving is predicate. Again here subject is there, predicate is there, but when it comes to understanding the meaning, we don't find complete meaning. While I was driving, what happened? We don't get the complete meaning here. So this is a clause. Look at the last example. Though he worked hard. Here he is subject and though worked hard is predicate. Even this group of words has a subject and a predicate, but it doesn't give complete meaning. Such type of group of words are all called clauses. Clauses are of two types. Number one, we call it main clause or independent clause. The other one, subordinate clause or dependent clause. The clause which gives complete meaning, and which can stand alone on its own is called main clause. As it can stand alone on its own, it is also called independent clause. Whereas the clause which does not give complete meaning is called subordinate clause. It is dependent on the main clause for its meaning. So that is why it is also called dependent clause. Let us see some examples and understand better what these clauses mean. Let us look at the example. My mother was making breakfast when I woke up. If you observe, in this sentence there are two clauses. Number one, my mother was making breakfast, and number two, when I woke up. If you read both these clauses, you will understand that first clause up to here, my mother was making breakfast, it gives more meaning. It can stand alone. If we write up to here, still we can get better meaning. So this clause is the main clause or an independent clause. Whereas the second part, when I woke up, here we have a subject, we have a predicate, but when I say when I woke up, what? It doesn't give complete meaning. We can understand the meaning of this clause only when we read it along with the main clause. So we can say that this clause is a subordinate clause. Let us look at the second example. Though he worked hard, he failed in the exam. Now in this sentence, again you can observe there are two clauses. Though he worked hard. The first clause doesn't convey complete meaning. Though he worked hard, what? We don't get proper meaning here. Look at the second part. He failed in the exam. Here we have subject, we have predicate. And this part of the sentence, it can stand on its own. So here he failed in exam is the main clause, whereas though he worked hard is subordinate clause. Let us see the next example. Rahul was absent as he was ill. Here also we find that there are two clauses. Number one, Rahul was absent, and when we read it we can understand that this clause has more meaning compared to as he was ill. When I say as he was ill, what? We don't get complete meaning. We understand the meaning of this clause only when we read it with the first clause. So we can say that the second clause, as he was ill, is a subordinate clause, whereas Rahul was absent is main clause. Look at the fourth example. You can work if you want to. Here also we have two clauses. Number one, you can work. Here we have a subject, we have predicate, and the other one is if you want to. So the moment you read the second clause, if you want to, what? We don't get complete meaning. So we can understand that this clause is a subordinate clause, whereas the first clause, you can work, is the main clause. Then the last exam, the match was cancelled because it rained. Here again we have two clauses. The match was cancelled. Here the subject is the match, was cancelled is predicate. The second part of the sentence, because it rained. Here the subject is it and predicate is rained. So the second part, because it rained, it doesn't give complete meaning. We can understand its meaning only when we read it along with the first clause. So we can say that the second clause is a subordinate clause, whereas the first clause is the main clause. Hope you understand, children. Let us continue with the next topic. After understanding the meaning of sentence and clause, let us look at what do you mean by a phrase. Here, a phrase is a group of words which has no subject, no predicate, and no complete meaning. It is simply a group of words which is generally used in a sentence to complement either the subject or the predicate. Let us see some examples here. In the morning, besides the church, across the road, in the corner, after the lunch, under the tree. These are some of the examples where you will find that there is no subject, there is no predicate. Predicate here means verb. So there is no verb. Though it has some meaning, but it doesn't give complete meaning. Such group of words are called phrases. Dear students, let us do some exercises whereby we will try to understand what is a sentence, what is a clause, and what is a phrase. Here I have given you some examples. Let us try to understand. The first one, the rat was sleeping under the table when the cat came. And if you observe this sentence, you can understand that there are three parts. Number one, the rat was sleeping. Where? Under the table when the cat came. So if you look at this sentence, we understand that the rat was sleeping. It is a clause. It has a subject, it has a predicate. Under the table, here we don't have subject, we don't have predicate. So it is a phrase. Whereas the third one, when the cat came, here we have subject, we have predicate, but it doesn't give complete meaning. So it is a clause. So when we try to understand this first sentence, we find that there are two clauses and one phrase. Out of those two clauses, the first clause is the main clause because it gives complete meaning and it can stand alone on its own. Whereas the second one, this clause, is a subordinate clause because it doesn't give complete meaning. It depends on the main clause for its meaning. So that is a subordinate clause. Let us look at the second example. The match will start as soon as the rain stops. Here the sentence has two parts. The match will start as soon as the rain stops. So we find that there are two clauses in this sentence. The match will start. We have a subject, we have a verb here. In the second one, as soon as the rain stops, even here we have a subject and we have a verb. So both these are clauses. There is no phrase in this sentence. But when we look at these two clauses, we understand that the first clause is a main clause. The match will start because it has more meaning, complete meaning compared to the second clause, as soon as the rain stops. So when I say as soon as the rain stops, what? It doesn't give complete meaning. So this clause is a subordinate clause. Look at the third example. The boy sat in the corner for he was frightened. Here the boy sat. Up to here it is one clause. In the corner it's a phrase. Whereas for he was frightened, for he was frightened is another clause. So the boy sat. We have a subject, we have a predicate. In the corner there is no subject, no predicate, so this one is a phrase. Whereas for he was frightened, we have he, the subject, and was frightened, verb. So this is also a clause. Here if we understand, this one is the main clause. The boy sat because it gives more meaning. Whereas for he was frightened, it doesn't give complete meaning. This clause is dependent on the first clause for its complete meaning. So this clause will be a dependent clause. Look at the next example. Birds fly in the sky. In this sentence, birds fly. Up to here it is one clause, whereas in the sky it is a phrase. Here we don't have a subject and no predicate, only group of words with incomplete meaning. So this one is a phrase, whereas birds fly is a clause. Let us see the next example. He stayed under the tree because it was very hot. Now if we analyze this sentence, he stayed. Up to here we have one clause. Under the tree, up to here we have a phrase. Because it was very hot, and this one is another clause. Let us try to analyze here. He stayed. We have subject, we have predicate, and it gives meaning. Under the tree, here we don't have subject, we don't have predicate. It gives some meaning. So this is a phrase. Because it was very hot, it, the subject here is it, and was is the verb. So we have subject, we have predicate. So even this is a clause. So we can understand by looking at the sentence, he stayed is the main clause, whereas because it was very hot is the subordinate clause, and under the tree is a phrase. Look at the last example. He was studying in the room when father came. In this sentence, he was studying. Up to here it is one part. In the room is the second part. When father came is the third part. So let us try to understand. He was studying. We have a subject, we have a predicate. So this is a clause. In the room, here we don't have subject and no predicate. So this is a phrase. When father came, here we have subject, we have predicate. So even this is a clause. So when we try to understand, we find that he was studying is the main clause, whereas when father came is the subordinate clause. I hope all of you would have understood today's concept. So that was all about today's topic. Friends, I hope all of you enjoyed today's class. Please like, share and subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much.